Not long ago, a 8-year-old patient came to me exhausted. She was waking up 4 or 5 times a night, had constant muscle twitching in her calves, and told me, "Doctor, Hyman, I feel like my brain is wrapped in cotton." She had tried melatonin, stretching, and even cutting back on caffeine, but nothing helped. Then I asked her one question: "Have you ever tried magnesium glycinate?" AS, in phased eye. 3 weeks later, she returned with tears in her eyes. "I'm finally sleeping again," she said. "My legs feel calm. My heart isn't racing at night, and I'm not snapping at my husband anymore." That's when I knew this episode had to happen, because her story is not unique.
It really isn't. Mark, I've seen countless older adults struggle with anxiety, poor sleep, or muscle tightness, and no one thinks to ask about magnesium. Yet this one mineral, especially in the form of magnesium glycinate, touches nearly every system in the body. The nervous system, the cardiovascular system, muscle function, even how we think and focus. But here's what people don't realize. It's not just about taking magnesium, it's about taking it the right way. I've also had patients who took it and ended up with worse anxiety, irregular heartbeats, or stomach issues, not because magnesium is dangerous, but because it was misused.
In this episode, we're going to break down what really happens when you take magnesium glycinate consistently for 30 days. We'll walk through 8 major benefits, from deeper sleep to better blood sugar, and explain the 3 most common mistakes that make it ineffective, or even harmful.
Before we begin, if you or someone you love is over 60 and looking for natural ways to improve sleep, calm the nerves, and protect heart and brain health, you're in the right place. Please take just a second to click like on this video, subscribe to our channel, and turn on the notification bell so you never miss a new episode from the Shigeaki Podcast. Your support helps us reach more seniors who truly need this information.
Before we begin, if you or someone you love is over 60 and looking for natural ways to improve sleep, calm the nerves, and protect heart and brain health, you're in the right place. Please take just a second to click like on this video, subscribe to our channel, and turn on the notification bell so you never miss a new episode from the Shigeaki Podcast. Your support helps us reach more seniors who truly need this information. Let's start with what most people notice first: better sleep. Within the first 2 weeks of taking magnesium glycinate, many of my older patients report falling asleep faster, waking up fewer times at night, and even dreaming more vividly. That's no coincidence. Magnesium helps your body produce and respond to GABA, the brain's main calming neurotransmitter. It's like the off switch for your nervous system. As we age, the body often loses magnesium more easily through stress, medications, or diet. Low magnesium means GABA can't function properly, and without GABA, the brain stays in high alert mode, even at night. In a clinical trial from the Journal of Research in Medical Sciences, adults over 60 with insomnia took 500 milligrams of magnesium for 8 weeks, and the results were remarkable. They fell asleep faster, stayed asleep longer, and their nighttime cortisol levels dropped significantly.
And that ties right into the second benefit: reduced stress and anxiety. Magnesium regulates the HPA axis, which is your body's stress response center. When you're under constant pressure, your brain keeps releasing cortisol, which disrupts sleep, mood, and energy. Magnesium gently quiets that system, allowing your body to say, "You're safe now." It also blocks NMDA receptors, which are involved in nerve overactivity. That's why some people feel mentally calmer after just a few days. No drowsiness, no drug-like effects, just a natural sense of steadiness. And because magnesium glycinate is paired with glycine, an amino acid that also calms the brain, the two work together to support emotional balance.
For older adults, that calm can feel like getting your old self back. Sleep becomes restorative, Mornings aren't so foggy, and the quiet hum of tension that's been there for years finally starts to fade. Now let's talk about something a lot of people over 60 silently deal with: muscle cramps and twitching. That sudden tight knot in your calf at 2 a.m., or that annoying flutter in your eyelid or thigh, those are more than just random events. In most cases, they're your body's way of saying, "I'm low on magnesium."
Here's what most people don't know. Magnesium and calcium work as a team inside your muscles. Calcium triggers muscles to contract, but magnesium is what helps them relax afterward. Without enough magnesium, calcium stays trapped inside muscle cells, causing tightness, cramps, or involuntary spasms. When someone starts taking magnesium glycinate daily, they're restoring that balance, allowing muscles to contract and release normally again. That's why I often hear patients say, "My legs don't jerk at night anymore," or "I don't get those random twitches during the day." It doesn't take much, just enough to support your muscles' natural rhythm. And what's great about magnesium glycinate is that it's gentle on the stomach, so people can take it consistently without digestive upset.
One addictive voles. Now, closely related to that is the next benefit: more energy, but not the jittery kind from coffee or sugar. Magnesium is essential in the production of ATP, the energy molecule used by every cell in your body. Without enough magnesium, your cells simply can't produce or use energy properly, no matter how much you eat or sleep. It's like trying to run a machine with no spark. That's why low magnesium often feels like unexplained fatigue, even after a full night's sleep. After 3-4 weeks of magnesium glycinate, my patients often report a calm, steady energy, the kind that lasts throughout the day without crashes or cravings. It's one of the quietest transformations and one of the most meaningful. When your muscles stop cramping and your energy feels stable again, you don't just feel better, you feel capable.
Another area where magnesium glycinate quietly works behind the scenes is blood pressure regulation. What many people don't realize is that magnesium is a natural vasodilator. It helps your blood vessels relax and widen. When that happens, your heart doesn't have to work as hard to push blood through stiff arteries. That's especially important for older adults. As we age, our arteries naturally become less flexible. If magnesium levels are low, vessels tighten further and blood pressure creeps up. In fact, studies show that people who take magnesium regularly see meaningful drops in both systolic and diastolic pressure. One meta-analysis found an average reduction of 5 mmHg on the top number that's better than many mild medications.
And because magnesium glycinate is so well tolerated, many patients can use it safely alongside their existing prescriptions. It supports cardiovascular health without causing sudden drops or spikes. I often remind my patients, even a small drop in blood pressure can mean a big drop in long-term risk for stroke or heart failure.
Now let's talk about blood sugar, because magnesium is just as important here. It's a key cofactor in how your cells respond to insulin, the hormone that moves sugar out of your bloodstream. When magnesium is low, your cells stop listening to insulin properly, leading to higher blood sugar, cravings, and even insulin resistance over time. I've had patients with borderline diabetes add magnesium glycinate and, within a month, their fasting glucose starts to improve. It's subtle, but consistent. They feel fewer sugar crashes, less afternoon fatigue, and even notice less hunger between meals.
And what's powerful is that this doesn't require drastic change. One well-absorbed mineral, taken consistently, can lower two of the most dangerous silent markers of aging: blood pressure and blood sugar. That's a big win. One benefit that often surprises people is how much magnesium glycinate can stabilize heart rhythm. Every single heartbeat depends on the precise movement of minerals like calcium, potassium, and magnesium across heart cells. When magnesium is low, this balance is disrupted, and that's when people start noticing skipped beats, fluttering, or a racing heart.
Magnesium helps regulate the flow of calcium into the heart muscle, which is what triggers a contraction. Then it works alongside potassium to help the heart relax between beats. Without enough magnesium, that electrical rhythm becomes erratic. For older adults, this can mean palpitations, even when at rest. And unfortunately, many don't realize it's a mineral imbalance, not always a heart disease.
That's why I often recommend magnesium glycinate first before jumping to beta blockers or other medications, especially when tests come back normal, but the person still feels off. After a few weeks, they usually report that their heartbeat feels quieter and more predictable. It's subtle, but deeply reassuring, and that sense of calm extends to the brain, too. Low magnesium is strongly linked to what many people describe as brain fog, that sluggish, unclear, hard-to-focus state that seems to settle in with age. Magnesium plays a major role in neurotransmitter function and synaptic signaling. It keeps brain cells firing efficiently and reduces neuroinflammation.
I've had patients say, "I didn't realize how foggy I'd become until it lifted." Within 30 days of taking magnesium glycinate, they describe sharper memory, better recall of names, and even clearer conversations. They're not just less tired, they're more mentally alive. It's one of the quiet miracles of magnesium, a steadier heart and a clearer mind. And for older adults, those are two things that bring back confidence in daily life.
So by now, it's clear that magnesium glycinate can offer amazing benefits, but we also need to talk about the other side. Some people start taking it and feel worse, anxious, jittery, or even get mild heart palpitations. And that can be confusing, especially when they were hoping for calm and better sleep.
Absolutely. Mark, I've seen this too. The key thing to understand is, it's not that magnesium is harmful, it's that the body wasn't ready for it, or something else was out of balance. One common cause is electrolyte imbalance. Magnesium doesn't work alone, it's part of a network that includes potassium, calcium, and sodium. If someone's potassium is already low, a sudden boost in magnesium can overstimulate certain nerve pathways.
That's often when people feel restless or more anxious, especially if they take a full dose right away. I usually recommend starting slow, even half a dose for the first few days, and making sure you're eating potassium-rich foods like bananas, leafy greens, and avocados. This helps your body adapt without becoming overwhelmed. Another issue is heart palpitations, which sometimes show up if magnesium is taken without enough potassium. These two minerals work together to maintain electrical stability in the heart. If one is too low or the other comes in too fast, the rhythm can feel off temporarily.
And let's not forget the digestive system. Some people experience bloating or loose stools, thinking magnesium glycinate is too strong. But in many cases, they're actually taking a blended supplement that contains magnesium oxide or citrate, which are much harder on the gut. Always check the label. You want a product that clearly says pure magnesium glycinate. Most of these side effects are not dangerous, just signals. And with the right adjustments, dosage, food pairing, and form, they usually resolve in days. The body just needs a gentle, balanced approach.
We've seen how magnesium glycinate can transform sleep, stress, muscle function, and even brain clarity. But there's something that needs to be said. A supplement only works if you take it the right way. And over the years, I've seen 3 very common mistakes that keep people from seeing results, or worse, cause discomfort that makes them give up too soon. Mistake 1, not understanding elemental magnesium. This is one of the biggest misunderstandings. When people buy a magnesium supplement, they often see something like magnesium glycinate, 500 milligrams on the label, and assume they're getting 500 milligrams of magnesium. But that's not true. That number refers to the compound weight, not the elemental magnesium, which is the actual amount your body can use. In most cases, 500 milligrams of magnesium glycinate only contains about 80 to 120 milligrams of elemental magnesium. That's the number you should care about, because that's what your cells rely on.
Exactly. If someone is aiming for 300 milligram day, they might need to take 2 or 3 capsules, not just one. And if they don't understand that, they end up underdosing and wondering why nothing's improving. The fix: always read the supplement label carefully. Look specifically for the line that says elemental magnesium. Start with 100-200 milligrams per day and increase gradually based on how your body responds. That alone can change the entire outcome.
Mistake 2. Using cheap formulas with hidden fillers or the wrong magnesium. Here's something I wish every patient knew. Just because the front of the bottle says magnesium glycinate doesn't mean that's what's inside, at least not entirely. Many cheaper brands mix in magnesium oxide or citrate, which are poorly absorbed and much more likely to cause digestive issues like bloating or diarrhea. I've reviewed dozens of labels where glycinate was just part of a blend, and the majority of the magnesium was actually oxide, which has a very low absorption rate, sometimes less than 5%. Worse, these blends often contain fillers like magnesium stearate, microcrystalline cellulose, or artificial colorants, which may reduce absorption or irritate the gut lining.
That's why some people say magnesium doesn't agree with me when in fact it's the fillers, not the mineral itself. The fix: choose clean label supplements. Look for magnesium bisglycinate chelate from a reputable source, ideally labeled fully reacted or buffer-free. The fewer ingredients, the better. And always scan for third-party testing or certifications. It's worth spending a few extra dollars for something your body will actually absorb and tolerate well.
Mistake 3. Taking too much magnesium at once. Even the best supplement can backfire if the dose is too high. Some people think more must be better, so they take 400 milligrams or more in one go and end up with loose stools, stomach cramps, or a racing heart. Especially in older adults, the body needs time to adjust to increased magnesium levels. I've seen this many times. Someone excitedly starts taking magnesium glycinate, takes a full day's dose before bed, and the next day feels wiped out or anxious. Not because magnesium is too strong, but because their electrolyte balance and nervous system weren't ready for it all at once. Magnesium interacts with other minerals, particularly potassium, sodium, and calcium. When those are low, adding too much magnesium suddenly can throw off the balance and cause side effects.
The solution: divide the dose. If you're aiming for 300 milligrams a day, take 150 milligrams in the morning and 150 milligrams before bed. This gentler approach improves absorption and reduces the risk of side effects. And if you're just starting out, begin with half the dose for the first few days, then slowly increase. That way, your body can build tolerance naturally.
So, if you've tried magnesium glycinate before and didn't get the results you expected or felt uncomfortable, ask yourself, was I taking enough elemental magnesium? Was the formula clean and truly glycinate? Was I taking too much at once? Correcting even one of these mistakes can be the turning point.
Absolutely. Magnesium glycinate is powerful, but it requires precision. When taken the right way, it doesn't just help you sleep or relax. It supports your brain, heart, muscles, and metabolism all at once, and all quietly, behind the scenes.
If there's one thing we hope you take away from this episode, it's that magnesium glycinate isn't just a mineral, it's a quiet ally, one that can restore your sleep, calm your nervous system, boost your energy, and even protect your heart and brain. But only if you give it the chance to work the right way. It's not about taking more. It's about understanding your body, being gentle with it, and choosing quality over quantity. In my experience with older patients, those who saw the biggest benefits didn't rush it. They started small, stayed consistent, and listened to their bodies. After 30 days, The difference was undeniable.
And if you've ever tried magnesium and thought it didn't help, maybe you were just missing one small detail: the form, the dose, or the timing. The beauty is, you can always adjust. You can always begin again. That's the power of your body. It wants to heal. So whether you're struggling with restless sleep, brain fog, muscle tension, or simply feeling off, magnesium glycinate may be the missing piece. Give it a thoughtful try and be patient. Your body is wiser than you think.
And if you found this episode helpful, please take a moment to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and share it with a friend or loved one who might benefit. It truly helps the message reach more people who need it, especially those over 60 who are looking for gentle, effective health solutions. Thank you for spending your time with us today. We're honored to be part of your wellness journey. Stay well, stay curious, and we'll see you in the next episode of the Shigeaki Podcast.